I've been serving on the Palo Alto City Council since 2017. The Asian community makes up 38% of the Santa Clara County population. We are the largest and fastest growing ethnicity. We are business owners, we are doctors, we are lawyers, we paint people's nails, we do a lot of different things. We are part of the community. So why are we being treated like we're not? During World War II, Japanese Americans were forced into concentration camps. My grandfather, my great-grandfather, my dad were part of these Americans. My grandfather died of tuberculosis in the camps, leaving my dad fatherless when he was only 5 years old. He stood alone. There were no protests like this. Just silence. After World War II, my dad faced intense anti-Japanese sentiment. It was so bad that he eventually dropped out of high school, depriving him of an education. Once again, he stood alone. There were no rallies, no signs, just silence. Last year, when I was biking and stopped at a red light in Palo Alto, just a year ago, a white minivan pulled up next to me. A bunch of young white guys started yelling at me to go back home, telling me why did I bring the virus here. California has been the home for my family since the 1880s, when my great-grandfather came here. I haven't felt this kind of racism since I was little, as one of the few Asian kids who would get beat up just for being Asian. We're better than this. But then again, I stood alone. Many hate crimes go unreported. Some Asians don't even know that their entire report being sweared at or being doused with water. Why is this? Well, some Asians think that we should keep our heads down and our mouths shut. Should we keep our heads down and our mouths shut? No! Should the families of the 6 Asian American women murdered in Atlanta stand alone? No! We can no longer afford to stand alone. We need our voices heard. We need representation. We need to refuse to be everyone's punching bag. Even though Asians are the majority here in Santa Clara County, Asians are woefully underrepresented by elected officials. Why is that? Why are we underrepresented? I have a plan to change that. There are 2 parts. Part 1 of the plan. We need to go out and get every Asian American registered to vote. A lot of my colleagues did that, but we gotta do this. So I want to encourage you guys to do a challenge. I'm going to propose a challenge today. Basically, I want you to go out and get 8 people registered to vote in 8 days. I call it the 8x8 challenge. The 8x8 to stop Asian hate. So put it on your phone, pick out your TikTok, your Twitter, your Instagram, TikTok, and say, I'm going to take the challenge to get 8 people registered in 8 days. If we all register to vote, if we vote, okay, because right now, Asians are a large percentage, but we tend not to vote. We tend not to be registered to vote. That's not right. We need to make sure that the Asian vote matters, that we matter. Can you guys do this? Yeah. That wasn't good enough. Can we do this, guys? Can we get people registered to vote? Can we vote? This is part 2 of the plan. Part 2 of the plan is we must get involved. We must volunteer and donate to political campaigns. Asians tend not to get involved. We tend to keep our mouths shut, our heads down. We can no longer do that. This is one of the reasons why I'm running for U.S. Congress in 2022. We must stand together. Will you join me? Can we stand together, guys? Yeah. Finally, I saw a lot of signs here about SB 82, and I got a lot of emails on it. So definitely acknowledge that. We need to look at that. We need to make sure that people feel safe. I totally get that. So thank you guys for doing that. Finally, I'm organizing a rally in Palo Alto on May 2nd. We have some pretty high-profile speakers going. I'd like to encourage, we must show solidarity. We must stand together. I'd like to encourage all of you to join me on May 2nd, Sunday, in Palo Alto for our Stop Asian Hate rally. Thank you so much for organizing this opportunity.